Welcome to part 2 of our 8-day road trip around Iceland's Ring Road. Iceland is at the top of almost everyone's bucket list, and it's no surprise why. We spent the first 4 days exploring the more popular southern side of the island with well-known spots like the Blue Lagoon, Goðafoss, the Glacial Lagoon, and more. In the second half of our trip, we'll complete our drive around the Ring Road in search of reindeer, remote hot springs, waterfalls, local foods, and even lava. If you missed part 1, we're currently 256 miles out of the 900 that it will take to drive around the Ring Road, doing van life with 2 of our best friends, Carla and Justin. Yesterday, we stayed up to see the northern lights, which meant we were extra tired waking up this morning.
Good morning. What's going on today?
Mom and Dad are making us coffee, and then we'll probably drive.
Morning, honey.
Ditto.
As we drove, we began to see lots and lots of reindeer.
They're not even cold, but I'm cold.
They're looking moose.
They do kind of look like little mini moose. We also noticed that despite enjoying the first day of summer in the south, that winter may still be in full force in other parts of the country. After trying to play it safe by taking the long way around, we now had no choice but to drive this sketchy mountain pass in order to continue on the Ring Road. Once we started, there was no turning back. Some sections had snow almost completely across the road.
Just finished the scariest drive of my life. Now we are at an N1 gas station getting some coffee and refueling our car. Now we are up here halfway through the Ring Road. We'll continue on to the north and west side of the island in the next few days.
Thankfully, our next stop helped everyone to calm down and relax a little bit.
Work? Yes. Welcome. Looks a nice quiet day for it. It feels so nice to be warm. It's been pretty cold in Iceland, so it's nice to just chill. And they have probably the most epic cold plunge I've ever seen. I don't really like to cold plunge, but I'm honestly excited to try this one. All right.
This is conquering my fear.
Let's go.
The fear of swimming.
I'll be on standby. Oh, Nina's cheering her on. Good job, Carl.
What you doing, bro? Filling the lake back up.
We all love the local vibe that Vak Baths had, especially in comparison to the tourist-heavy Blue Lagoon. If you're interested in visiting, we left a link down in the description.
We just finished up at the Vak Baths and stoked to go check out the canyon.
So this canyon's known for the cool basalt columns on the sides, and it just registered to me that they might still be covered in snow.
You know that famous canyon that usually looks like this? Well, right now it looks like this. Traveling in the shoulder season isn't always the move.
Yet even with all the snow, the canyon was still beautiful.
We should have known by being the only car here, but we're not in the right spot. We had a cool viewpoint, but we can't figure out where the hike is across the river.
Like, how are there all those people on the path and then like 3 cars in the parking lot?
Now let's see where we see a big pile of cars.
With the roads being super muddy, we were nervous if the van would be able to make it or not. It took us a while, but we eventually discovered where we were supposed to go.
Oh, look at this. It looks so pretty.
It was sad to see the waterfalls almost entirely frozen. In denial, we tried to find our way down to the canyon through the snowy walkway, but it just didn't seem worth it. Eventually, it got too cold and dark, so we had to turn around. Not only had it been a stressful day of driving, but we would also have to cut some of our highly anticipated stops from our itinerary due to conditions. In hindsight, this stop didn't seem worth it, but it did help us to reflect on how the trip was going so far. As we drove, we realized how tired and cranky we all were. We had become so obsessed with all the destinations that we lost sight about what the trip was really all about. Now about halfway done with our trip, we decided to sleep in. We had realized that operating on 4 hours of sleep every night was making us all impatient with one another. A nice slow morning with some coffee happened to be just what we needed. Despite running into more complications with our plan, we made the best of it.
Good job, duder.
Thanks, bro. Oh my gosh.
Last night might be the first time on this trip that we all got 8 hours of sleep. And let me tell you, we are all feeling incredible and in way better moods.
You're pretty little rainbow sherbet.
I am a rainbow sherbet. There's purple to add to this mix too. All right, we're going down. Hi there.
Hello.
The water here was beautiful, but unfortunately it was too hot to swim in.
Snowball survived.
So Mivton has this big crater that it's kind of famous for, and all the photos online have this bright blue water on the inside. And we weren't sure if the water's there right now. Jay had to do a bit of research and fly the drone over it. Found out there is snow and it is pretty, but not the pretty blue water. So we will not be hiking up, and we're going to continue on to our next stop.
We're in Mivton and some sort of geyser area that I probably can't pronounce and I don't know what it's called, but it's very Yellowstone-esque. And we got lots of bubbling, lots of steam, lots of colors. It's a very different landscape than we've seen previously in Iceland on this trip so far. But unfortunately, the steam is not warming me up much. It's very cold outside. Here's the heater I want, but it smells like I just got crop dusted. Oh, it is. Stinky. I just got news that last night, one of the best Northern Lights shows of the season happened in Reykjavik. And here in Mivton, it was quite cloudy. So I'm grateful for our 8 hours of sleep, but when you're traveling, you don't always get the best days everywhere. And we might have to come back another time.
How's everybody's goals going?
We briefly saw the Northern Lights, which kind of counts for my goal, but I'd like to see them more. I feel like it was trying a hot dog. I also haven't done that.
Well, I for one have pet Icelandic horses. Still want to see lava. I would really love to go to a remote hot springs, but I think we might be heading to go do that now.
Fortunately, just down the road, we found some other hot springs. But after climbing in, we realized why they weren't as popular.
It's not cold, but it's very lukewarm.
This spot's pretty cool though.
This is one of those things that you really don't want to do. I'll be glad that I did it after.
The water is beautiful.
Definitely not cold.
I don't do cold things. Well, I do, but I have to be motivated. And today, I'm not motivated.
Fortunately, Justin and Carla gave me some backup in the cave expedition.
I'm thinking either you climb up here or you dive under this rock.
We ended up doing it. I was so glad. And now we're back at the car, getting warm, and gonna start our drive to the next spot. Where are we going, Ian?
Go'afoss.
Casualty?
So brave.
Stop.
Nina needs to stop humming. The humming is how I don't listen. You do you. I just gotta be in my own world over here.
On Jay and I's first ever travel adventure together, the Pesty Turco was invented. And every trip since, Pesty Turco has made an appearance. We're going to introduce Justin and Carla to it.
good variety of different style of waterfalls while here in Iceland. We had the one that you could go behind with the massive Goðafoss. We had some frozen waterfalls yesterday, and now this one's kind of like a widespread. So I'm enjoying all these waterfalls for someone who's not really a waterfall girl.
The north is so different from the south. The south felt like summer. Like it was nice, it was turning green. We are in winter here.
Now we are off to Akureyri, which is often referred to as the capital of North Iceland.
We're trying our very first Icelandic food.
While we were waiting for the pizza to get ready, we had to get some ice cream.
There's really no better appetizer to Domino's pizza than an ice cream cone.
So good.
Ooh.
Went to Brynja. It's a traditional Icelandic ice cream.
It doesn't melt as fast because we're in Iceland.
So we're thinking this pizza is going to be extra good because it should be made with glacier water, since that's where they get all their water in this country.
Our next stop was Fosslaug. Just a short walk from the car was this crazy waterfall. And to make it even better, just behind it is a hot spring. When we first arrived, there were some other people there, but after a while, we were able to get it all to ourselves. These moments, when we slowed down and got to relax, were some of my favorites from the trip. We still had a little more driving to do in order to reach the Snaefellsnes Peninsula. This would be the only time we ventured off the ring road. Tomorrow we are excited to show you why this detour is worth it, but before we do that, we wanted to give y'all a van tour.
Good job. Whenever me and I need to film shots of like the van or something like that, Carla and Jess will have to go for a run. So that's what's about to happen.
It's like another planet out there.
These guys are crazy.
If you followed Jay and I for a while, you know that for our first year of marriage, we lived in a van. So this week, we're very excited to be getting back to van life. So I'm gonna give you a tour of our whole setup. Come on in. We rented this van through Go Campers, and they have been awesome the entire time. They have a map with campsites on their website and pretty much all the resources we need. So right now, we just walked in these side doors, both of these open. We have a storage drawer. This is where we keep all of our snacks and dry foods. And why it's notable is that you can lock it so it doesn't slide around while you drive. Up here's a little cooking space, although we do usually cook outside. We've mostly used this sink to get water for our water bottles or for coffee. Right over here, we have our fridge. This has been great to store all of our ingredients for dinners and just keep leftovers for anything. And then moving up to the front, we have the cab. We've kept this jump seat down so that the people back here get a view of the front as well. There's some pretty good storage up here in the upper areas, and then also up here, pretty much all of my clothes are in here. And then the other thing I love about the front is there's a wireless charger, which was super well thought out because there's an aux cord, so if the driver is playing music from their phone, they can also be wireless charging all at the same time. I just thought that was genius. There's plenty of outlets. We got an inverter as well, so we all have had fully charged phones, camera gear, all of that. All into the back area of the van. This whole little area converts to Justin and Carla's bed, but during the daytime, we like to keep it in this kind of table sitting area. It's awesome for playing cards, drinking our morning coffee, having dinners and meals. There's also plenty of headspace in here. Jay and Justin are 6 feet and they don't have a problem. They're not like ducking in here. Under these seats is plenty of storage as well. All of our cooking supplies, and we've got windows and these two doors open with even more storage from the back of the van underneath this seat. We also have some more outlets back here. These are super nice so that you can charge your phone while you're sleeping. And then right up here, we have the shelf. This is where Jay and I sleep. This is definitely meant for kids or for good sleepers. If you are claustrophobic, this is probably not where you want to sleep. We paid a little bit extra for a Wi-Fi router, and that has been so nice. We don't have to worry about directions or maps or planning too far ahead of time. We're able to just research on the go. Highly recommend that if you don't want to be super meticulous and have all of your planning done before you even get here. Overall thoughts on living in a van with 4 people, I would absolutely do it again, but I would recommend only doing this with friends you really enjoy spending this much time with. We're all pretty neat and picked up people. Carla's sweeping every hour pretty much in here, so I wouldn't want to do this with someone that's a little bit messier. And that's the van tour.
Our victorious runners.
Just before arriving at our first stop for the day, we wanted to give one of the local coffee shops a try. The caffeine kickstart led us to Kirkjufell, or Church Mountain, which is assumed to be the most photographed mountain in Iceland.
behind me is the really famous mountain that everyone comes here for. And even though this peak is really cool, we thought the waterfalls and the peaks behind it were actually a lot more interesting. These are Icelandic horses, and once an Icelandic horse leaves Iceland, it can never come back because they're worried about it breeding with other horses and they want to keep the bloodline pure. But they're not ponies, everyone, and just as strong as a big horse. Does a horse have anything to say?
He's gonna eat it. Oh, he's so soft. He loves me. Wow, dude. Got a big nose. They all look so stumpy to me.
That's Carla's favorite.
Dude, look at that flow. I just love the Icelandic horses out here. They are just the absolute best.
On our way to the Arnastapi Coastal Cliffs, Justin and I needed to cross one more item off our Iceland bucket list.
We're all freezing, but here they go. It?
You can tell the temperature of the water by the snow on the mountains.
Best day ever?
Yeah, it's great. Nobody walks like that. Wow. Oh, dang. No, Nina is such a violent teeter-totter. She's always been that way.
Once we finished goofing around, we walked over to see what we came for. The cliffs were epic.
All that matters is that we're having fun.
Wow, you were out here with sneakers.
I didn't know what I was getting into. My buddy's in Crocs. We pulled off simply because we saw lots of other people coming up here and figured it was worth a shot. Figured they knew something that we didn't, and man, was it worth it.
By now it was dinner time, so we cooked up some ramen in the van before taking a soak in the Landbrotalaug Hot Spring. This spot is by no means a secret or hidden hot spring, but if you time it just right, you may be able to get it all to yourself. The last leg of the ring road was a scramble to check as many boxes as possible, and even though we didn't get to pet any Icelandic sheep, we did complete a different goal.
In Iceland, apparently one of the delicacies locally is the gas station hot dogs. Wow.
How does it compare to American hot dogs?
It's better.
We couldn't believe that this would be one of our last Icelandic sunsets, and although our time here was coming to a close, we had saved one of our most anticipated stops for the last day. Sky Lagoon.
Are you Jay and Nina?
Yes, we are.
Oh, awesome. Nice to meet you.
Welcome to the Sky Lagoon. We have been looking forward to this all week. Similar to the Blue Lagoon and Vak Baths, the Sky Lagoon here is a geothermal pool right outside of Reykjavik. What makes the Sky Lagoon special is their 7-step ritual that takes you through a wellness practice. We're here right when they opened at 9 a.m., so there's hardly anyone here, but we've also heard it's a beautiful spot to come for sunset.
How many saunas do you get to stand up and walk around? I can do jumping jacks.
And how many saunas do you have this view?
How many people do you think you can fit in this sauna? 40 people? 40-person sauna?
As more people began to show up, we went to check out the pool bar and noticed that they even had a walk-up restroom coming out of the lagoon.
So convenient.
The best place to hold your glasses is
On your husband's face.
It's always hard to leave a place like the Sky Lagoon, but we had one last stop to make before officially checking Iceland off of our travel bucket list.
This afternoon, we came into downtown Reykjavik. If you know Jay and I, we're not huge city people, but it was really fun just to walk the streets. It was really mellow, really clean, and we ended up kind of doing an impromptu food tour. I'd recommend just a little afternoon to walk around the town.
You look like a cheese ball.
I feel like a cheese ball.
probably eaten less than 5 hot dogs in my life. I'm not really a big fan, but they're the food to get here in Iceland, so had to try it. I'm gonna assume it's less processed than the hot dogs in the United States. This topping sauce, I think, is mustard of some sort. And then these are French onions. I do like those. It's good. I like it.
After having a hot dog, we realized there were lots of other foods we wanted to try. We went from ice cream to fries to boba and even got some fish and chips. The food was great, as expected, but my personal favorite part of the city was making a new kitty friend.
Nothing better than petting foreign cats.
We also discovered how fun it is to do some thrift shopping in foreign countries to see if you can score any sweet souvenirs.
Our afternoon in Reykjavik has turned into a bit of a food tour. We got the best hot dog I've ever had in my life. I only had like 6 hot dogs, but it was still one of the best. Then we got ice cream. The ice cream was good, but nothing to write home about. And now we got boba. And we have very limited access to boba in Jackson, Wyoming. So when we see one, we've got to take advantage of it. And it's surprisingly very, very good. I got the hot dog like an hour ago, and I'm still thinking about it. That's how good it was.
Walking through the city, a lot of people get a lot of different types of souvenirs. My souvenir of choice is from my favorite grocery store called Bonus. I ended up going with a reusable bag. I just love the look of this cheeky little pig. Look at him. Look at the way he looks at you. Tell me you don't want to carry your groceries in there.
We typically don't do souvenirs, but every once in a while I'll see something that looks cool or that makes me think of someone, then I want to bring it home for them. So in Iceland, we did get this lava salt. It's definitely a touristy thing. It was in all of the shops, so I doubt locals just have this in their kitchen, but I tested it. It was good. I love the little fancy salt flakes. I'm excited about it.
And with that, we had accomplished almost everything we had set out to do. Carla never got to pet a sheep, and I still hadn't seen lava. But that night, I popped up the drone to check out the beautiful sunset and noticed some glowing in the distance. I knew I would have to check it out in the morning. It turns out that just across from the Blue Lagoon, the Grjótagjá crater was becoming active.
You see that lava dog?
I became so fixated on flying that my drone ran out of battery and had to make an emergency landing. Fortunately, we were able to get him back.
Oh, you found him? You found him?
After 8 days of driving the ring road, I can confidently say that Iceland lived up to our high expectations. But even though the place was great, it was the people that we got to experience it with that made it so special.
All right, sad day. We're back at the camper van office, returning our beloved van. Thank you.
It was awesome to be able to cross this country off our bucket list and see so much of it in just a few days. I would absolutely do this trip again, and if I was redoing it, I would add a few more extra days to get off the beaten path a little bit more. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and see you next time for another best day ever.